Three, two, one. We live. We live right now. I think that's gonna be my thing. I think so. We are actually live. Things are moving around. I am actually on a different uh editing recording thing. I will upload to Podcasto. I do like it, but something about the audio part just really got to me. And it's weird. It's one of those things to where you when you get better with things, you tend to understand them a lot more, if that makes sense. So what did excite you, or what you thought that you understood or what you understood for a time, you get better with time, right? So you start to pick up on things. And that's with everything. That's with coffee, that's with life. That's one thing I'm noticing. So I've been diving or going into the audiophile rabbit hole a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy, but right now I am using what I'm using. I do have a new mic on. I don't know if you can tell. We have to get a different cord. We'll see. We see it. Everything seems to still be working, so we may have to get a different cord. It looks like it's about to break. Well, is it? I don't know. All right, let's keep it going. So supposedly the way my room is configured is not ideal for podcasting or talking. That's one thing that I have noticed. But I will get all the creature comforts and audio stuff in order to decrease the amount of static noise and all that good stuff, you know. But other than that, I'm well. Everybody's well. We will briefly talk about Amazon just for a little bit, and then we're going to move on. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but one thing that I've been working on is trying to update my actual listing. I have two listings. One's going to be a whole bean listing, and another one's going to be a ground coffee listing. So the issue that I'm having right now is that I have what Amazon calls variations. And I do have variations. And supposedly I'm supposed to do the variations before I actually did everything, so to speak. So I was supposed to include my variations or child ASINs, as they call it, into Amazon. And I believe I did that, but I probably did it incorrectly because it's not working. So in order to change it, I had to identify myself again. And the very first time when I did identify myself, what I ended up doing was they gave me a call, a video call. They looked at me, they saw who I was, and then I showed them my passport, showed them different corners of it. And that's how I got approval. But now with this case, I don't know really what's going on. It's interesting because I know it's a bot. I can't say much about it, so to speak. So that is what I'm dealing with right now. And it's very frustrating. I keep sending them the exact same stuff. There's only so many ways you can take a picture, right? Close up, far away, make sure that you don't cut any corners, make sure it's not blurry, all that good stuff. And it's not working. So that is one thing that I'm having a difficulty on right now. So I got rejected again this morning. I checked it. So I think the next thing that I'm going to do, I've already reached out to my contact, and I don't know what she's doing right now, but we shall see. But for the most part, I think what I will do is try to see if I can open up a new listing, start a new listing, and see if I can add the ASINs or variations from there. Because the thing that I want to add is the way Amazon does it is that they say, okay, for at least for coffee, whole beans, then ground. And then from there, you can have variations. And my variations are going to be medium roast and dark roast. So it's just going to be a 2 pound bag, 32 pound, $32, which is kind of expensive in my taste, but I have to set it that way in order to advertise and also to make some type of profit, so to speak. I may decrease it later, but for now, that's what we're rolling with. Again, it's competition is going to be what it is, but there's various ways that I'm planning to go about this situation to really just get the brand out there, to get the movement going. And then, of course, like I said in the last podcast, is that it's going to be a 360-degree approach to this. It's about giving more than just hoping others will take. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. We shall see how well that does work or translate, and we'll go from there. So that's the listing part. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and start a new listing, see how that works, see if I can actually add a variation to my listing and go from there. I'll still go ahead and submit the exact same photo just to keep pissing them off, because it's pissing me off. So why should I be the only one pissed off about this whole thing? Right? That's the way I look at it. And we got good news. My person did help me out. I know it was her. It wasn't me. I gave her some information. On the other end, bam, it came through. So I have Amazon brand registry, which is extremely important to the business. This is where I can post things. I can actually have a website and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be something that I'm looking forward to really putting out there, implementing. So that's what we got going with Amazon. Again, I don't want to harp on it too long. But other than that, what else we got going? We are in the process of doing an episode right now. The episode consists of me doing a lot of stuff right now. Like I said, I'm devoting this time, this month, this session to Amazon and YouTube. And for the most part, it's going really well. It's cool to get clarity on that and focus on that, because I know soon certain things are going to be a lot harder to do. I'm still going to do it, but it's one of those things that I need to focus on and deal with, and just understand that there's going to be a time and season for this. But Amazon, focus on YouTube. That's a lot of work. And of course, as you hear me right now, also on podcasts. But I do have a good system with podcasts. I do it now at least twice a week. I may bump it up from time to time. And that's what we got going, which is a lot of fun. So as we keep going, diving into all this stuff, that's what we are going to be doing. That's how we're going to be understanding each other and everything. And I'm also working on trying to record with my Rode mic just to see if I can get redundancy. It's not going to be as good as the mic that I'm using right now. But yeah, so let me know how I sound. I'll see how I sound and all that good stuff. And we shall go from there. Okay. So one of the posts or videos or whatnot that I'm working on right now with YouTube is a quick, easy post about coffee, how to select coffees, demystifying this whole thing about what does lemon, blueberries, chocolate, and all that stuff mean, So that's kind of like where I'm at right now, with hopefully giving people an understanding of like not being scared, or being more understanding of coffee, and understanding that, right? Because a lot of times when people do go to the stores or grocery stores, or what they see online, it's something that they're like, I'm not too sure about this. This doesn't make any sense. These roasters are putting smoke up my butt and all that good stuff. So, yeah. So that's kind of like where we're at. So I did one scene, introduction, and then there's going to be another scene about fruit flavors and all that good stuff. But kind of just thinking it out, it's been a lot of fun actually to see where I'm at with all this stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I will be doing. Hopefully I can get this particular episode done today, tomorrow, and then edit it and then get it out there. I do have another working one that I'm doing right now that's going to be relatively long. It's about the Kenyan coffee. But yeah, so those are some of the things that we're working on right now. I did do a big order yesterday. It was for my Brazilian coffee, and that went fine. But I don't know how I can say this. I will say this. I will pretend that all the things that I'm saying right now, the people that I'm talking about, they can hear back and listen to. I'm just pretending that they're on the call. It's best to be as tactful about what I'm about to say, or in general about the situation that I'm in. And what it is really is more so getting that person, or giving you some insight into the business world and psychology and people, and dealing with what it is, right? If that makes sense. So here's a situation. My thing about business is that it's about competition, it's about succeeding, and really it's ultimately about your overall goal. Does your overall goal align with what you're doing in your business, right? So in this case, what I'm understanding or putting out there is that at times it can or it cannot. But I was approached by a business to provide coffee to them exclusively. And the thing about it right now that I've noticed is that the business is what they are. I guess what I'm saying is that they portray themselves something different than what is actually happening. And that's going to happen a lot, I guess. You know, people want to put their best foot forward, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things that you have to see what works for your business, if that makes sense. And I guess what I'm saying is that when somebody wants exclusivity on a product that you're selling, especially something that is a high selling item on your website, they have to, I will say, earn it. But that's the thing, earning something and demanding something is totally different, right? Earning something takes time. You will have to see how they earn something, if that makes sense. It's not something that is automatically given, right? But in this case, what I'm understanding is that it was a bamboozlement to me. I don't know if it's just more so being not being as honest, or that they have to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the situation to their clientele to get them comfortable with the new product that they are selling. That could be it too. But in this case, if I was a betting man or somebody who understands the situation, the presentation is what it is, but the outcome, the actions of what they are not the same as what it should be, right? So to speak. So yeah, so that's the situation right now. I went ahead and roasted the coffee, got it done, got it to them yesterday, and that was the situation. I will probably wait another month or two, and then I will put it right back online. I know they may say something about it, which is fine, but the exclusivity of something has a lot of weight. It's not just paying at a certain amount. It can be, if that was one part of the agreement, right? But it can also be the amount. I think that's the most important thing. The thing that's really pissing me off is the amount. The amount is not a lot. It's really not. It's really not. And if the amount was a lot more, then that's saying something. But the amount, the frequency is not where it's at. The amount and frequency are more so the same thing, right? The frequency of the order. So it's something that I don't know if they will understand, but at the end of the day, it's still my business. It's still what I do. And it's one of those things to where I am in a place to where it makes sense to me to do more for my own stuff. You know, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now. It seems like I'm trying to prove a point, which I am, and I didn't really think this through, which is fine. But I know I will have that opportunity to talk to the personnel or other people in the situation when it happens. And I'll be able to explain myself in a way to where hopefully they see it from my point of view or not. And if they don't, that's cool. We can, kick dirt together and move on, or figure out a system or a situation to where it does really work for both parties, so to speak. That makes sense. So that's what we got going. That's what I'm doing right now. And things are moving in a way that it's becoming more clear. It's getting to the point to where I am doing the right things for myself. And other than that, that's all I can do. Do something, get better, keep doing something, get better, understand the situation, and then go from there. So that's where I'm at with a lot of this stuff. That's how we are going to see how we make things work. And yeah. So what are we going to do today? What are we going to talk about? Are we going to drink more coffee, some more Kenyan coffee? I think for the most part, I'm almost done with the Kenyan coffee saga. It's gotten a lot better. I do need to drink it again. And we shall see how everything works together. I will do that experiment again on Saturday. Not Sunday this time, but Saturday. So that's going to be almost 2 weeks off of roast. And we shall see if I feel the same way about the coffees again. And I think in this case, I'll go ahead and line them up, all three, and we'll taste it that way. And we'll see if I need to play with the grind. Damn, that's right. That's the thing about this. Okay. Everything sounds good in coffee until you do something different. You have so many variables in coffee that it will piss somebody off. And I understand a lot of times where people can get pissed off, if that makes sense, or get frustrated with something and not really give a shit about it, right? If that makes sense. Is that I know I'm all over the place, but here's something I want you to think about before we go off of this right now. Is that when you try to do something and you get better, right? You're first frustrated because you don't understand why you're not good at it, right? And then you get better, and then you start to learn things. And as you learn things, your old ways of thinking about it it changes, right? So that's the case with coffee. That's the case in this situation as I'm talking about right now. You can be fixated on how something tastes, but not truly realize that it probably tastes that way because you haven't changed a variable. Everything else is the same. But once you start playing around with grind settings and other variables, what you taste in the cup is totally different. So again, it's one of those things where I don't want to confuse people, but I do have the ability, the way, oh, my alarm, to do more, right? To do more experimenting with coffee. And I have tools beyond just your palate to test out theories, to see what works, what doesn't work, and all that good stuff. And it will piss you off more than anything. But I do want to get more to the essence of the product. So I think what I would do is mention how grind setting plays a part in this whole experiment, but not go into crazy detail because it's not really needed. I do want people to understand and get that it's important to make sure that you compare apples to apples, present the product in the best light as you can. And then once you do that, then that's when you can make a real judgment assessment call to the situation. Right? So that's where I'm at. That's what we're doing. We're going to do this and we're going to figure out all the stuff that we need to and all that good stuff. And then as we keep going and moving, hopefully it just gets better from here. That's that. I don't stand still, and I hope you don't stand still. And I don't know what I'm saying right now. So we out. See you later. Oh yeah, I didn't mention the date. Today is Thursday, February 29th, 2024, leap year. Talk to you later. Bye.